Alrighty, let's rip into it, guys. I'm here at Albury Lifestyle Centre. I can see Kristie is in her office up there in the Gold Coast in her house overlooking the beach. Terrible situation. And we're really lucky to have Kristie train us. A lot of you guys heard her at the Success Summit like 2 rounds ago? Was it last round? Can't even remember.
Yeah.
And the guys were raving about you, so I thought to myself at the time, righto, I'll give this 90 days. And we'll get her back just to get everyone up and about again. But we're so lucky to have Kristie. She's like my guys in the background. I grew up at Lifestyle Plus in Southport on the Gold Coast. And that's where I learned a lot of the principles from Herbalife and a lot of the ones that you guys now just don't know any other way, but we learned that from Kristie and Rob up there, and kind of governed the success the relative success that we've experienced in the amount of time we have. And we're super, like I always mention, Rob and Kristie on stage when I get recognised, because I'm really grateful for what they put into my business and me as a person as well. So who better to be training the guys on week 1 of our royalty workshop this month? We're really excited. We got some of the guys here as well. We actually just had a launch party for our next challenge. Kristie down here in Albury, so there's a few of the guys here, and we're super excited to listen to what you got. So just so the guys know on the call, I said to Kristie, what would you train your people on to get them to Active World Team? Because that's a lot of you guys' next step, and that's what I want to hear as well. So
perfect,
mate.
All right. Thank you, Jared, and thanks for having me on. Can I get everyone just to turn their cameras on for a sec, just so I can say hi? See your faces. Hi. Hello. Meg, what are you doing? Meg's in the dark there. Oh, there you are. Hi, darling. How are you? All right. Thanks so much, Jared. I'm going to share somebody's getting their teeth cleaned. Very good, Kelly. You've got to look after those choppers, love. All right. So let me press share. I actually went to the dentist last week, or 2 weeks ago. Don't tell anyone, for the first time in I know, a bit of trivia there for you. All right, let's get cracking. I've got some photos I want to show you of, Lifestyle Today and President's Team, President's Team living, on a day-to-day basis, where we live, how we live, some of the freedoms. And then we're going to talk about how you can get some of that as well. And certainly an Active World Team component, but also just building royalties ongoing throughout your Herbalife career. But, for Rob and I, we will be celebrating, it was the 4th of December, 1991, that Rob got started. Some of you probably weren't even born then. And for me, it was the 26th of January. It was Australia Day, 1992, that I pressed hard 4 copies and, became an independent Herbalife distributor of my own. So I was one of Rob's frontline distributors. And back then, life was not great for us. Rob was trying to sell real estate. He was a project manager in high-rise buildings here on the Gold Coast, and then in Brisbane, which is where we met at the Dockside project up there in Brisbane City. And then just before he got started with Herbalife, or when he got started with Herbalife, was at Sanctuary Cove. Again, beautiful place, but not a beautiful time in our lives. Rob was almost $100,000 in debt, was renting an apartment. He was a month behind in his rent, and a car payment behind. For me, I was a receptionist in a real estate office, earning crap money. I was 21 and a bit, earning really bad money. Had myself a bit of credit card debt, not a whole lot, but stressful for me when you're only, making a few $100 a week. Stressful enough for me. And I just didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was always had a bit of ambition. I played a lot of sport when I was a kid and a teenager. I represented Queensland in gymnastics. I represented Queensland in volleyball. I played competitive badminton. So I was competitive and ambitious, but not at school, not academically. So I got okay grades when I left school, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I just didn't know. But I knew I wanted to make a lot of money, but I just didn't know how. And then, through Rob, through our sponsor, Gary de Bravender, and again, that's a whole other story, but Rob getting signed up, me being exposed to Herbalife as his girlfriend, initially for those first couple of months, and then making a decision to get on the product, because I desperately needed to lose weight. I'd given up a lot of my sport and gained a whole bunch of weight. I lost 11 kilos in 10 weeks. People started asking me, typical organic Herbalife, right? People started asking me, I got some products for some of my friends from Rob. And then he said, well, instead of me making the money, why don't you make the money? So next thing I'm a Herbalife member. So big key there, guys. You know this. You guys talk about it all the time. And I love, it's one of the things that I love about, the Body Transformation Challenge concept, that really is driving a lot of our business today, is that the people who come into our business through this are already, already love the idea of what we do. Like they're already married to the idea of what we do. So yeah, product wise, I also had really results, not typical, but I had really, really incredible results with some allergies. I used to have mild hay fever on a good day, and on a bad day, there were times when the burning in my eyes was so bad. I've got very, very sensitive eyes. The burning in my eyes was so bad that I would have to pull my car over to the side of the road and just wait for the burning to stop so I could keep driving my car. I saw allergy specialists. I started having injections, for these allergies. 5 or 6 weeks on Herbalife, no more sneezing, no more burning in the eyes. And I've gone from using antihistamines most days of my life to maybe once every 2 or 3 months. If I go somewhere really dusty or something, that's about it. So that was a life changer for me, and phenomenal energy. So the photo there on the left is me in my early 20s. The photo in the black dress was, I think, 2 birthdays ago. And then the photo from behind was about 3 months ago at the gym. So I've just turned 48. I feel amazing. I'm thrilled with my skin. None of my friends who are the same age have skin like mine. So I'm absolutely thrilled. I've never had bad skin, but I just feel that as every year goes by, my skin is just getting better and better and better. So great nutrition in, and of course using the Herbalife Skin. We also, from day one, we were fortunate enough, to meet Mark Hughes on several occasions. I've got to find a better photo to show, because that's not really the best one, but it was the quickest one I could get my hands on. This was actually, let me see. I'm going to talk about an event to event later on, but this was an event where Rob got his Get team 5 months in business. So this was an event. Herbalife took over Movie World here on the Gold Coast, and Mark Hughes was there. So, we locked into Mark Hughes's mission, and I really would encourage all of you, if you really, really want to know, the heart and soul of why Herbalife got started. If you haven't seen it, Jared can certainly get it for you. There's a beautiful, beautiful video of Alan Lorenz narrating Mark Hughes's story. Jared, the one where Alan talks about, where Mark Hughes grew up and the family life that he grew up in. And I got goosebumps, like just talking about it. Like it's just, apart from Mark talking about his, what happened to his mum himself, to me, it's the second most beautiful example of what Herbalife is really, really, really all about, and the mission, and what we owe Mark Hughes, because of what happened to him. So check it out, So we locked into Mark's mission early on. We also had to do a lot of work on ourselves, early in the piece, because yes, we were excited about Herbalife. Yes, we were confident-ish, confident-ish in what we could do. But, when you're in the sort of debt we were in, we were making $10,000 a month and still broke because of what we bought into, the debt that we bought with us. And some days, it seemed like nothing was working. It seemed like, wow, we just got this check from Herbalife, but oh my God, we just got a $600 phone bill too, back in the days. And we really had to do a lot of work on ourselves to just keep future focused, and try to become the best version of ourselves that we could along the way. We were talking on a leadership call last night with our world team, and we were talking about, what you need to become at each level, at each pin, what you need to become at each level in the marketing place, in the marketing plan. And we were talking about people like Enrique, at the Spectacular, Quentin at the Extravaganza, and then at the World Team School. People like Leslie Stanford, people like, Mark and Gelati, people that we all go, wow, these are special, special people. They were probably a lot like us the day that they got registered with Herbalife. But they realized that they had to change themselves, not change who they were, but be the best version of themselves so that other people would want to follow them. And that's a key thing in building royalties right there. Are you someone, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you behave, the way you react? Are you someone that other people would want to be drawn to initially to get on the products or get registered and stay with and follow? And we've really, really worked, on that. We still do. Are we people that other people, are we president's team members that our team members would be proud to say that they're in our team? Are our team proud to say that they're part of Rob and Kristie Walsh's team? Because we were always proud to be part of Gary DeBravender's team, no question. Okay, bit of lifestyle today, and then we're gonna get to some work. So as I said before, nearly $100,000 in debt when we got started, living in a daggy little rental apartment. It had a great view, but the actual apartment, no good. It was furnished and not well furnished. And 4 years later, 4 years. It took us about 2 years to get totally out of debt. 4 years later, we were able to buy this penthouse. So we've got eastern views out to the ocean, northern views up to Versace and SeaWorld. It's just, we don't take it for granted. I just love living here. I love waking up here every day and drawing those great big curtains back. That's 5.5 meters of glass. This is my office here. So, I don't spend a lot of time in there. I'm usually at the dining table or on the lounge with my laptop because I can. But, we've done some major work on our place, some renovations and all that sort of stuff. And I love now that if I want to buy something for the house, that it's, I'm not out buying $50,000 lounge suites, don't get me wrong. But if I want to buy something because it's going to make the place look better, I do. I just love where we are. We've also, because of this place, been able to buy, we bought another investment property. We built another investment home. We built another home. We bought a duplex block for $800,000 in Southport. So Jared knows that area, 2 years ago now, that we're going to bulldoze, build 5 townhouses on it. 3 of those townhouses will go to each of one of Rob's children, not as a gift, but we'll do a deal so that we can help them set up. And we'll sell the other 2 or we'll rent them out or whatever, doesn't matter. But it's great to be able to, again, afford that. Yeah. I've always been a car chick. I love cars. So we've had 3 BMWs. We've had a Mercedes. We're on a second Range Rover, and then got the Bentley here 4 years ago for my 44th birthday, which we absolutely love. And this was taken about 2 months ago now, on a Bentley drive. I mean, who are we? Like, sometimes I really do think, how did we get here? We're just like, we're people from lovely families, but we weren't exposed to this sort of thing growing up. Rob grew up in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home in Melbourne with 6 kids. Yeah. I grew up in a normal family. My parents divorced when I was 13, and all the challenges that kind of come along with that, when everything your parents had gets split down the middle. Yeah. And who are we? We're driving, if you added up the value of all those cars along there, ours is in there somewhere, who are we living this life and being around this environment? It still blows my mind, and I do not take it for granted, not one little bit. Travel was something that we never ever got to do before Herbalife. I was actually born in New Guinea. My parents moved to Australia when I was 2. And before Herbalife, I'd never been anywhere. For Rob, again, grew up pretty ordinary life in a family life in Melbourne, and he went to Hong Kong once as a real estate agent, and that was it. And now, just in this photo, Egypt, New York, India, Barcelona, Venice, Paris. We nicked off to Phuket for 10 sneaky days last week. And what's great is this, when you first start traveling the world, you don't care how you get there, you don't care. You'll do it cattle class, the cheapest ass ticket you can buy, stay in a bloody flea pit hotel because you're going to be sightseeing all day and sleeping all night, yeah? But it's nice as you make some more fun coupons, to be able to just say, okay, 10 days on the beach here in Thailand, cost us $6,000 without the airfares, who cares? We can just do it. To meet my mum in Paris for her 70th birthday, send Rob home, and then her and I stayed on in the Marais in an apartment in Paris. So I booked an apartment, so we'd have a room each. Took her to see Adele, just crazy, crazy stuff. The day-to-day freedoms for me is probably the big thing, because you know what, you're not on holiday every day of your life, although you could be forgiven for thinking as a Herbalife President's team member that we do. But no, we do what we need to do. But just a couple of things, I've been hitting the gym for about a year, working out seriously for a year. I pay for 3 PT sessions a week, which is $600 a month. If I had a regular job, I couldn't do that. I get to go there during the day as well, instead of having to be in the gym at 5 a.m. or at 8 p.m. My PT sessions are 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Business class, this is on Etihad, flying to Europe, absolutely stunning. Rob gives me a flower budget, girls. Yeah, home office. I've got a flower budget. Just go and buy whatever I want. I love going to the hairdresser during the day. That's my morning tomorrow. Hairdresser's appointment at 9:30 to do the big chop. I can go during the day and sit there and have some champagnes. Doesn't matter. I'm a bit of a shopper. Those of you who know me, I went for a walk in Brisbane and accidentally went to Louis Vuitton, as you do. We like a beverage, as Jared and several other people know. So it's nice that when your friends come over or when your distributors come over, that you can bust out a case of Verve, which we do quite regularly. And family, guys. For those of you who know us well, you might know that we lost Rob's dad last year, and it was pretty heartbreaking for all of us, and particularly Rob, because they were very, 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 very close. And if we'd had full-time jobs and having to not just deal with the emotional part of losing somebody that you love so much, but the aftermath of that, you know, the arrangements and Rob, you know, having to be the executor of an estate with 5 other siblings and that sort of thing. And, you know, to have Herbalife and have the freedom to just handle things in our own way and in our own time, I tell you what, you know, so grateful. My mum and I are very, very close. I was able to take her to Bali this year for a week. We ran away while the Commonwealth Games were on, Jared, because we, you know, were all thinking it was going to be terrible and it was nothing, but just to take her away for a week. This is my $2,500 HFF button from Enrique. You know, back in the days, you know, when we've got started in our business, you know, I used to turn a blind eye when the World Vision ads came on TV because I didn't want to feel bad about not being able to, you know, help those kids. And now we've got World Vision. We support not every single person who rings up, but, you know, we've got our pet projects that we support. And it's so nice to be able to do that for HFF. Pay for the table, the HFF table, usually $1,000 US a head. Pay for our president's team members, you know, to be at the table with us at HFF. It's just, you know, it's just great. It's lovely. But guys, it's all about the people. Oh, one of my photos got lost there. I don't know what happened. It's all about the people, Herbalife. And, you know, to have a team, we've got 2 millionaire team in a line of 2 mil team in India, and just get exposed to other cultures and be around people who are so, excuse my language, so damn grateful for something like Herbalife. You know, we've got a good life here in Australia, but these people, and you see the way they live and where they come from, you know, it's just phenomenal, the impact we can have. You know, this is some of our, we've got this lady here is in our front line in Indonesia. She's Get 2500, you know, Muslim faith. You know, we wouldn't spend time with people like this and get to know them and their families and, you know, what they believe in. And they just want a life like us. They want the best for their family. They want the best for their children. They want peace. They want community. They want all the things that we want. And we would never have, you know, exposure to this without Herbalife. Yeah. You know, being on the vacay. We won't talk about this year's vacay. Like, don't mention the war, Jared. Okay, we won't talk about us missing our first vacay in over 8 years. Okay, not going to do that. But you know, so many vacations, and what I love about the Herbalife vacations, particularly, and Jared and Meg, you would have got to experience it this year. You know, is seeing all the kids, you know, have these great relationships and, you know, grow together. It's just so beautiful for us, you know, and just have fun. Rob and I are known as the fun presidents, and that's true. If it's not fun, we're not interested, particularly. And getting to do life together. You know, we're good mates as husband and wife. We met actually on Sunday. It's 29 years ago since our first, I won't say, you know, first significant moment. I know you guys are crazy, so I can say that. Yeah, I know, 29 years, holy moly. And now we get to travel the world together, live it up together, you know, build this crazy Herbalife life together, and just, I wouldn't change a thing. You know, we've had great times, we've had not so great times, we've had upsetting times, we've had times of absolute exhilaration. You know, this is in Cancun, getting our second Mark Hughes bonus. And I remember standing on the stage that night and we were handed the check, and to see, you know, to look down and see our sponsor, you know, Gary de Brabander, absolutely bawling his eyes out, you know. Yeah. Anyway, which, you know, I know is going to be something that, you know, something that Jared's already experienced, having, you know, Quentin as his diamond. But I know that Jared can't wait, you know, to have that moment with more of you guys. Yeah, as you get to President's team and beyond. It's just it's very, very special. Anyway, let's move on and stop the sooking, huh? Okay, I want to start back to some basics here, because I want to kind of start at the beginning and then let's build up on this. Yeah. Okay, and you might want to go ahead and take some screenshots. I can also send some of this stuff through to Jared if you guys want to kind of look at it a little bit more. But everybody on the call here tonight has got some sort of business already. You've got consumers. You know, I use the word consumers as opposed to customers, because we have a lot of people who've got ID numbers who are happily consuming the product. Yeah. So I like the word consumer. So an active world team organization, an active world team business has approximately 100 consumers a month in it. An active world team business, 10,000 organizational volume a month, is about 100 people collectively amongst your team using the product. I don't have 100 customers a month. Jared doesn't have 100 customers a month. You wouldn't find too many President's Team members unless they've got a cranking nutrition club, who've got 100 personal customers a month. But put together 100 consumers in your team, active world team. Get team is just 200 people using the products every month. Millionaire team, 800. President's Team, 2,000. Okay, people using the product. Now, it would be almost impossible for you personally. It would be impossible for you to personally look after 100 customers a month, or even consumers a month yourself. So you've got to build the organization. You've got to have the structure that's going to look after all of these consumers. So what sort of structure? I like to use active supervisor as a bit of a gauge in our business. Like, I know for Rob and I now, based on the average of our last 3 months in royalties, we need 20 more active supervisors, Rob and I. We need 20 more active supervisors in our 3 levels for us to get our President's Team 15K. Yeah, I know that. So I've got to look at how many people are coming into our team, who's moving towards supervisor, who's serious, and who can we start on their active supervisor journey so they know how to be a consistent producer of at least 2,500 volume a month. So let's talk about planning your PIN again. Okay, active world team is 100 consumers a month amongst your team. Sorry, I said that before. There's a typo here. So active world team is 4 active supervisors. That's it. 4. So how many do you have so far, and how many more do you need? Okay, are you an active supervisor yet? If not, make that your goal, but help somebody else do it at the same time. You don't have to do everything first before you can show somebody else how to do it. Yeah? Get team with 200 consumers is about 10 active supervisors. Sometimes 8 to 10, but let's play it safe and make it 10. I used to, back before I really understood this, I used to calculate everything on how many supervisors do I need. I'd rather base it now on active supervisors and make that consistency my baseline. But you know what? I'm going to have some people doing 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 volume for sure. But if I've got this foundation strong, I know that anything over that is a cream on top, guys. Millionaire team, 40 active supervisors. Now, it's not 10 front line. It's not 40 front line. See, Rob and I have got 7 frontline active supervisor, our 7-stone pin. Yeah? But we're President's Team. So only 7 have been people that we've sponsored. The rest came through our organization. So a question, okay, particularly for you guys who have got some sort of royalty. Maybe you've got a couple of 100 royalty points. Maybe you're at 500 or 600, or some of you are getting close to get team. Look at how many more active supervisors you need in your business. Okay. Is this making sense? Can I get a bit of a hands up, a thumbs up? Okay, beautiful. Okay, couple of things. I got this from Stefan Graziani, and I think just take a screenshot of this as well to take a look at, not to ask yourself these questions right now today, but to take a look at this in your overall, because I want to, again, I'm looking at all of you guys here and assuming that you all want to be Millionaire Team, President's Team and beyond. Okay, so this is taking a long-term view of your business. Your goal should be to have a complete business model, and you guys are probably got just about all of this anyway. Can you attract retail prospects and make retail sales? You guys can tick those boxes. Have you got long-term retail clients, or are you somebody who's having to replace your customers all the time because they buy for a little bit and then they stop buying? Okay, some do. That's the way it is, yeah? But if you've been in business for 6 to 12 months and you haven't had any customers who've stayed on the products with you that amount of time, you might want to look at your follow-up, your engagement, your community, and adding value. Do you have clients who know how to progress to being engaged in business? And I think having a centre down there in Albury, I think the challenges are great for this. I think the whole Fit Club, Healthy Active Lifestyle, is fantastic for this, because you're bringing your clients into your business structure and they don't even realise that from the very first time they do a workout, you're training them on how to be a coach. Yeah, I love it. Do you know, do you have a system or the ability to attract members for the opportunity? People who straight up, yeah, want to talk business, want to grow a royalty. Are you able to activate members quickly, or are you really good at getting people signed up, but then they don't do anything? Yeah, and these are all skills that can be easily developed, guys. And here's the big one: identifying leaders. Okay, are you able to identify leaders? Yeah, and you know, that's an ongoing process for all of us, because I tell you what, I've backed the wrong horse many times. As in Jared probably knows what I'm talking about. You go, I've got this person, they're going to be great because they're doing a lot of this, yeah, but they just don't have the hustle. Yeah, they're waiting. So I think it's a really great thing, again, from Stefan Graziani, you know, Founders Circle, to have a look at this as you grow your complete business. Yeah? Okay. I'm just going to shut this up so I can read the rest of my screen here. I won't be able to see anybody's faces, but that's okay. Again, building for growth, but with stability. You know, Herbalife for us at different times, just the way the marketing plan used to be, we used to have a lot of this in our business, because people would do a heaps of volume and qualify heaps of supervisors in 1 month to get a vacation or a party at the extravaganza or VIP seating or whatever. And then as soon as that event was over, the volume would go down. Then they'd work up to the next event. We had lots of this. Now we have less variance between a good month and a great month. Yeah? Okay. So again, growth with stability. Royalties are our dividend and the outcome of bringing value to the marketplace. One of our second upline president's team member, her name's Lee Austin in America. She has got Gary de Brabander's organisation and Mark Paulson's organisation in her team. She's an American lady who lived in Toowoomba. Jared lived in Toowoomba for a little while and got those two epic lines started while she was in America. And she was signed up by her 17-year-old daughter who's never had a job. Unbelievable story, right? She said to us ages ago, she said, no matter what you think of your royalty check, it's your report card, the report card of the value you are to your team. And sometimes I didn't like that, because I'm like, gee, my royalty check wasn't very good last month, which means I actually wasn't very valuable to my team last month. You know, it's a report card. So, you know, not every report card is great, but you can always change your next one, can't you? To grow your royalty, you need to grow wider and have everybody being, when I say more productive, look, we kind of know, and I know Jared's organisation, you know, would be similar, you know, with the exception of a few pockets, and we've all got pockets of, you know, out of control stuff in our teams. But an average supervisor with volume is around about 1,000 volume. You know, you can't milk a cow 4 times a day. It's twice a day. Yeah. You can't get your distributors. If a distributor is working at a great pace and producing, you know, great volume, you can't double what you expect of a distributor overnight. Yes, if we can all be more productive. Geez, I can be more productive for sure. Yeah. But if you want to grow your royalty, it's about adding more people to your front line, helping your people add more people to their front line, and having everybody as productive as possible. Yeah. Here's a clue. If your royalties haven't been growing, there's not enough people consuming the product through your organization. And I've just said this. So you need more consumers and more members. That's it. Yeah. Consistent consumption of the product, not buying of the product. Because if somebody buys it and doesn't eat it, why would they buy it again? But if they consume it and they love it, why would they not keep consuming? So to have more consumption in your team, you need more members, and more members, you've got more customers, okay, more consumers. You can grow your check by fixing, knowing when and how to correct. So you can look at your business, okay, and look at people's sponsoring activity. You can look at people's, for example, when you look at your royalty statement, if you guys have got royalties, if somebody does all of their business, if all of their business is personally purchased volume, yeah, they obviously don't know how to sponsor or activate distributors. If it's all personally purchased, it's not going to really grow. Yeah. Or the opposite. If somebody has got, and I've got a situation at the moment with one of our downline team members, she's a supervisor and she's got some people in her team who've just become world team, but she didn't get her world team. The reason she didn't get her world team is because she just struggles to do 2,500 or more volume a month. Yeah. And I looked at her business, and I saw that last month was her world team member's final month. She only had like 100 and something personally purchased volume. Like, you're not even on the product scale. Yeah. So if somebody's got, but she had downline volume because she's recruited people who are ordering, but she's barely using the product. So I like looking at that. Yeah. If I look in my organization, okay, where is the consumption, and is there not enough customers, not enough members, and how can we fix it? Yeah. My last point here, your people rely on you, not the company. Yeah. So, your organization, I said before, are you becoming somebody worth following? And are you constantly looking for ways to add value to your client base, okay, and your member base? I love this. A quote from the Herbalife Honors that we were at with Jared earlier this year. Leading by example is far more effective in changing the culture of your team, or, the activity of your team, than just telling people what to do. And Dr. Carmona gave a brilliant example of him working with some guys in the armed forces on a physical, I don't know what you would call it. It was kind of like a retreat, although it doesn't sound like lots of retreating going on, like I don't know what you would call it, an exercise, right? And there were guys just faking out everywhere and wimping out everywhere. Like, it sounded like it was pretty hardcore. And Carmona, instead of just telling them what to do and telling them they needed to push through, got out and did it himself. I love it. And that's something that you can easily do. You can turn your business around in 48 hours if it's not going in the direction, that you want it to go. A couple of things to help you guys with duplication, because again, we've talked about, okay, adding more bodies to your organization, more people consuming the product as consumers, more people looking after those consumers. But what about duplication? Look, everybody's got their own ideas on this, and everybody builds their business, a different way. But these are just a couple of things that have helped us. Yeah. Make sure how you build your business is something that anybody else can do. Being unique in Herbalife is not actually a good thing. Yeah. So can anybody do what you do? Yeah. Here's another one. Look for opportunities to tell, show, try, do. We hear that a lot, don't we? Tell, show, try, do. How? What's the practical application of that? Yeah, one of the things that Rob and I got from a guy we know who's a master demonstrator. Yeah, he's always at home shows and stuff like that, and he actually we said to him, show us what you do. What's your demo? And he gets people around. He goes, listen to what I say and watch what I do. And we went, that's brilliant, actually, because when we're working with our team, we do a lot of talking, don't we? A lot of talking. We're always talking. So how does a new person know in all the things we talk about? How do they know what's really important? So these two things go together. If something is important, say that it is and why it is. So when you're getting a new client started, okay, listen, here's what we do. When somebody comes over to get the products from our house, we don't have a centre at the moment. When somebody comes to our house, okay, they get a shake made in front of them, and we say, okay, watch what we do here. Okay, watch how much liquid we put in and watch how much formula we put in. Now that sounds ridiculously basic. I know, ridiculous. But if they get that wrong, it can do permanent damage. And trust me, I know, because my first two customers were refunds because they both made crap shakes. Yeah? Okay. When you're working with a new team member on follow-up or on inviting or on promotion, if there's something that you really want somebody to pick up on, tell them, okay, listen, I really need you to listen to this. Okay, here's why this is important. Hope that helps, guys. Okay, let's talk events. Number one, and listen, I'm preaching to the converted here with this slide. Okay, step one in the importance of events, and we're going to talk about the big ones coming up. Step one in the importance of events is you guys consistently attending. I know most of you are in regional areas. You don't have, an STS up the road. I mean, ours is about an hour away. I know that. But you guys have got a centre there. You guys have got Jared there committed to the centre as a leader. You've got to get in there as often as you can. Yeah? Make a deal with yourself to do what you absolutely know you can do, and everything extra is a bonus. I remember when Joanna Guiane, one of the most disciplined distributors in Herbalife, when she got started and she had her toddler Zavi at home, they had a centre in Perth, and they used to do Tuesday night, Thursday night and Saturday meetings. And she said to her team, listen, I'm a mum, my husband, Daniel's away a lot. She said, but I will commit. Okay, I can't get to the centre 3 times a week, but I will commit to every single Tuesday night, rain, hail or shine, and every Saturday morning. I will get to Thursday night when I can, but you will see me there to every Tuesday, every Saturday. And you've got to have that attitude. What is your not negotiable show-up structure? Yeah? Weekly on your calls, the STS. Lee Hilder in our organisation, 2 million volume producer. When Lee started her business, for the first 8 years of her business, she lived in Mackay. And Mackay is I don't know, I've never been there, but I think it's like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour flight. And she used to fly to the STF every 3rd month. That was her commitment. Yeah? So decide on the not negotiables, okay, and just do it. You wouldn't get a university degree if you didn't go to the lectures. I like this one, the 10K attitude. Not everyone at the meeting is making 10,000 a month, but everyone making 10,000 a month is at the meeting. Okay, so that's step one, and this is easy for you guys. Step two, to grow your business faster, you've got to bring people with you. So how many people are you bringing to your activities weekly at the Lifestyle Centre? Gosh, if you've got a long drive, I don't know what the drive is from Albury to down to the Melbourne STS, or where everybody's kind of situated. But if you're going to drive, if you're going to get in your car for several hours to go to that meeting, wouldn't you want to do everything you can to have new people with you every month? You've got to make if it's a big price to pay to get somewhere, make it pay. Yeah? You can't promote something if you haven't already been committed yourself. You know, that's simple. Your people do as you do, not as you say. So lead by example. I love this one. Would you be happy if everyone in your team did exactly what you did? This is something Leslie Stanford, Founder Circle member said years ago. She said, if everybody in your team did what you did, okay, what would your team look like? Would you have a fabulous team? If everybody took the products the same, showed up, was committed, was growing themselves, was working on their business like you, what would your business look like? Okay, so number 1, you attend. Number 2, take people. Number 3, learn the art of promotion, guys. This is so important, particularly with the Success Summit coming up and the Spectacular. Guys, I know that there's a lot, and I know sometimes you're like, oh my God, what should I be promoting first? What you talk about most, okay, is the impending event, the very next major event, but you let people know how this event relates to the next event, okay? That'll help you. Gary DeBravender, Jared knows this. If you promote, you go to the bank. Just take a screenshot of this, guys. Pre-promotion. This is the big one right now for all of us, all of you. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the other 2 as much, but this one right here. In pre-promoting, you've got to paint the picture of the benefits and the outcome of the Success Summit, so that whatever price someone has to pay becomes irrelevant. What is it? $50, $60, $70, whatever it is. It's nothing. You've got to make that investment seem so minuscule because of what people are going to get. And one of the ways that I'm pitching this event is just saying, listen, I know that you've been to a couple of our success training seminars, or I know that you've been to STSs all year, and I know that you get on all of our calls and everything, and you get to hear, from our, the top producers from the previous month. I know that. But here's what the Success Summit's all about. Okay, you're going to get to spend the day with Executive President's team member Jared Cater in Brisbane. And let me tell you a bit about Jared, and I tell a little bit about Jared, and I just say, you know what? Jared has got such clarity and such focus right now on how to build a President's team business. And I know that that's what you want in your future, that you need to be there just to hear Jared. You need to be there to get around Jared. But here's who else you're going to see. You're going to see the top performing supervisors and leaders in Southeast Queensland for the whole year are going to be sharing what's working for them, how they're doing what they're doing, and how they're putting money in their pocket. And I know this, whatever you have to do to get there, I know you're going to see things you've never seen before. You're going to hear things you've never heard before, and you're going to feel things you've never, ever felt before. And that is absolute certainty. If you're like me, certainty that this is the best company with the best product and the best time to be involved. So let's get your ticket and let's get you organized and let's get you to this Success Summit. Yeah? If you promote, you go to the bank. So you guys are going to got to get and when you promote, Gary DeBravender also taught us this, that the person you're promoting to is only ever going to be about 20% as excited as you. Yeah? So use all your powers of persuasion to get as many people as you can to this event. We put on a challenge to our team starting today to call 3 people in your team every day between now and the event and pitch them like I just pitched you guys, even if they haven't been to an event for a year. Because guess what? Jess Morgan, 15K president, had not been to a Herbalife event for 3 years. 3 years. And I pitched her on coming to an active supervisor retreat at Versace Hotel. And I pitched her like I just pitched you guys. And I told her stories and she came along, and guys, the rest is history. Unbelievable. Not because of me. It's just I learned the power of promotion. Okay. I would just want to give you a bit of a timeline for us. And when we got started, December 1991, 4th of December, I signed up January. Rob went to the first extravaganza. I wasn't a supervisor yet. Rob went in February 1992 to Los Angeles, yeah, $100,000 in debt, can't pay his rent, and went to Los Angeles to get the big picture of Herbalife as quickly as possible, because there was no APAC event, guys. Otherwise, he would have gone to APAC. Attended with one first-line supervisor, his brother, 4 second-line supervisors. I can't even, just forget what I'm doing with my fingers because it doesn't make sense. 1 and 4, so 5 supervisors. And the very next month, first cut, get team, second, third cut. It was called the NET team back then, the National Expansion Team. Yeah? So cuts of get team, 5 supervisors. Here was the other thing. Gary said to Rob, for every supervisor you take to every supervisor you take to a major event, your royalty will grow by $500 within 90 days. Rob's royalty the very next month was about $3,500. 5 supervisors, $3,500, $700 per supervisor. Pretty perfect math. What do you want your check to be 90 days after Spectacular, guys? Okay, February to June. So this was the event where the Royal Pines event with Mark Hughes. 5 first-line supervisors. So from February to June, Rob sponsored another 4 frontline supervisors. I was one of them. And through the 5 first line, had 20 supervisors, over 20 supervisors in the team. 90 days later, a cut of Millionaire Team. Didn't complete the Millionaire Team at that time, but a cut of Millionaire Team, which would have qualified Rob for future President's Team Retreat or honours, yeah, if this was happening today. Now, we did that with no vacations, no STSs, no supervisor events monthly. We used to have 2 supervisor events a year in Australia. That was it. That was it. 2 supervisor events. So that's how it worked for us. So again, take a screenshot of that if you want. Go like crazy. What if you went like crazy and hit this first one by the Success Summit? What if? Because just about every location has opened up. Certainly we have in Brisbane, Jared. We've opened it up that anybody who finishes their supervisor qual by next Friday gets into the supervisor workshop and the supervisor reception. Okay? You could do this by next weekend, guys. Yeah? And then build on that. Build on that from November to February. Yeah? You could build on that. What if you just doubled it? What if by the time Spectacular came around, you doubled these numbers, okay, and you didn't get a month of Millionaire Team, but you got your Get Team done? You know, set up Get 2.5 in time for Extravaganza. We've got to work the events. It's not just, oh, there's an event. Yay, I'm going to go and have some fun. Okay, work the event. Okay. You guys know about this, 17th of November. We'll know. I had a slide there with the speakers. Maybe I didn't. You guys know everybody's going everywhere. And if you are in, if you've got team in New Zealand, I'm doing the LDW on the same weekend. It's a 2-day event in New Zealand. There's certain sections there that are also open to all members. But Jared in Brisbane, Joanna in Cairns, Jess Morgan in Sydney, with my memory, Kendall in Adelaide, M. Mankey in Perth, Kim Bromer in Melbourne. I think I got it all. I think I got it right. Yeah? Phenomenal, phenomenal chance here. What happens to you going into and out of Spectacular, guys, it comes down to this event. Comes down to this event. Okay. Spectacular, you guys know, 8th to the 10th of February. You've got to, here's what you don't want to do. Don't leave your run too late for the new people that you want to have at this event. You've got to get people now. Sponsoring somebody on, you know, the 5th of February, you know, who comes along to the event. Yeah, you know, it might be a positive outcome for you, but you want to have the people now, getting started now, getting product results now, putting cash in their pocket now. Yeah, organising their life now so that so that they go into the spectacular with some experience. Because in my experience, the more Herbalife experience somebody has going into a major event, the more they get out of it. Yeah? The more questions somebody has going into a big event, the more they get out of it. And you'll have more questions and more experience by getting to work now, guys. Let's get it done now. Yeah? I just want to show you, I think I've got literally two more slides. Herbalife is easier to build fast than slow. This here, I just want to show you quickly. This was the first year of personal volume, 63,285 personal volume. So in the first year of building, an average of about 5,000 volume points a month. Yeah. Second year, 90,000 volume. I don't know what 90 is divided by 12, 7-ish, maybe 7,000 volume. Okay. And at the end of this second year, okay, that was first cut mill, second cut mill, and in the January of 1994, third cut mill. So personal volume, our high personal volumes led to the royalty growth. First month as a supervisor, active world team. Look, nearly a cut of get 2.5, cut of millionaire team. Yeah, get team. We used to have big fluctuations back then. We don't have that these days. 3,600. I just want to show you, because it's folklore but it's true. This was Rob's biggest month. Can you see that? Personal volume. 45,705 volume, personal volume. Pretty sure that's a record in Australia. Yeah? You need to tell Quentin so he can beat it. Yeah? And you know what that was? That was through 2 frontline people. We worked with these people to build deep and wide. We worked with this person to build deep and wide. And in 1 month, we put it all together. It was absolutely phenomenal. But it was exciting, guys. Fully exciting. I'm not going to... Just take a screenshot of that one, guys. Let's grab a screenshot of that, or I can send it through to Jared. Just, again, a couple of extra things on what you need to become in building a massive organization. And my last slide here. Okay, confidence and vision. If a 23-year-old kid, Mark Hughes, rough side of the tracks, you know, grew up in the hood, like seriously, when you watch some of those, you know, shows based in Compton, you know, and places like that in the United States, like scary stuff. Yeah. And we got taken to a nutrition club there probably 8 or 9 years ago by a Herbalife staff member, and they told us to take off all our jewelry. I'm not kidding. Yeah. That's where Mark Hughes grew up. If a 23-year-old kid created what has become, well, it's over 7 billion a year company, why couldn't you reach your goals? You know, I don't know if your goals are to have an organization that turns over 7 billion a year. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. But if a 23-year-old could do that, why couldn't you reach your goal of $500,000 a year, of $1 million income a year? Why couldn't you? Yeah. It's already been done. The Founders Circle, Chairman's Club, President's Team members have already shown that it can be done again and again and again and again and again. You know, why couldn't you go as far as you want to go and have everything that you guys want to have? Seriously. Yeah, it's just there for the taking. And what it really comes down to is just paying attention, being on the ball, just having massive focus in this next 8 days to the summit. Then you can take a bit of a breather for a day, and then we go again, and we go again, and we go again, so that you wring every drop out of yourself before the spectacular. And so that you're sitting at the spectacular knowing that you did everything you could to have, and you made every call that you made, and you promoted and you invited till you couldn't promote anymore. That would be the ultimate, to be sitting there knowing that, and you watch 2019 and 2020 produce outrageous results, because there are going to be people who are going to do it. There are going to be people who are going to do it. There are going to be people sitting in that room in February wishing that they had done it. And there are going to be people in that room watching other people do it. So why don't you be one of the ones that other people are watching and talking about, yeah, at that event, because everyone knows what you did. Yeah. So Jared, I'm going to sign off now, hun. Thanks so much for having me on. You guys, you're awesome. You've got an incredible leader there in Jared who does so much for you guys. I know that you know that, but not everybody's president's team does, you know. And you guys are really, really fortunate.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Walshy. There's so much gold in there. The guys just nearly have writer's cramp, I reckon. From now on. So thank you once again for spending the time with the guys and with myself, and for everything you do for Herbalife Australia as well. It's amazing. The guys in New Zealand are lucky, and I can't wait to get up there to Brizzy, get amongst you guys.
I know, I'm sad I won't be there. Walsh will be there, but yeah, I'll be in with the Kiwis, but it'll be great. But no, thanks so much, buddy. If anyone's got any questions or wants a copy of anything, just shoot me through a message on Messenger, and happy to share.
Awesome. Awesome.
See ya.
Thank you so much. See ya. See you guys.